I want to start by acknowledging what I do agree with in the speaker's message. First, his sincerity is clear. He speaks from personal faith, not performance, and that matters. His belief in God gives him purpose and grounding. I respect that. I also agree with his point about not letting bad church experiences define our entire spiritual outlook. Church hurt is real, but institutional failure doesn't always equal divine failure. Lastly, he makes a valid point about human responsibility. Many of the evils we see are created by people, not God. That's true, and blaming God for human cruelty can be a lazy way to avoid holding people accountable. That said, there are some serious flaws in his reasoning. First, he creates a false equivalence between atheism and moral relativism. He implies that without God, morality can't exist. But that's historically and philosophically inaccurate. Humans developed moral codes through social evolution, empathy, and the need for cooperation. Secular morality exists and thrives without divine oversight. In fact, religious doctrine has often justified horrific acts, slavery, genocide, patriarchal oppression, all supposedly in the name of God. If God is the source of morality, why do his followers often do the most harm? Second, demanding that atheists prove God doesn't exist is a misuse of logic. The burden of proof lies with the person making the claim. If someone says God exists, it's on them to prove it. Just like if someone said there are invisible dragons watching us, we wouldn't need to disprove it. They'd need to show evidence. Most atheists aren't saying they know everything. They're saying the explanations religion offers aren't convincing. That's not arrogance. That's intellectual honesty. Third, the claim that atheists shouldn't celebrate Christmas is superficial. Most people, religious or not, know that many Christmas traditions come from paganism, not Christianity. The date, the tree, the gift-giving, none of that started with Jesus. Participating in cultural traditions doesn't require believing in divine virgin births. It's not hypocrisy, it's cultural adaptation. Now here's where things get deeper. The speaker is black, and that matters. Because Christianity wasn't gently offered to people of African descent. It was forced through slavery, colonization, and systemic oppression. Enslavers used the Bible to justify owning human beings. Missionaries erased native spiritual systems under the banner of saving souls. And though the black church became a place of resistance and power, we cannot ignore its origin. Christianity was a tool of control. The chains came with a cross. So when I see black men today defending a religion that was used to dehumanize their ancestors, it hurts. It's not their fault. It's generational conditioning. But there's tragedy in embracing the very thing that broke your lineage. That doesn't mean faith is always false, or that Jesus has no value. But any belief system born of trauma deserves deep scrutiny. Otherwise, we're not healed. We're just more comfortable in our captivity. In the end, the speaker believes he's found truth in Jesus. That's his right. But truth should be something we seek, not something we inherit without question. Faith that can't withstand inquiry is just tradition. And if you're discouraged from questioning, maybe you're not being led by God. Maybe you're being managed. If God is real, he can handle your questions. If you're not allowed to ask them, you should ask why.